Across our county, SCBAs and RIC packs do not speak the same language. In the event of a mayday, that communication gap could cause critical problems in time and air for that downed firefighter. This video will highlight the similarities and differences among the different SCBA and RIC packs used in our county. Here we have Carpinteria, Summerland, Montecito, Santa Barbara City, and Santa Barbara County SCBA and RIC packs. Many of the standards these follow come from NFPA standards. The first, the 1981 Open Circuit SCBA standard, which required the first universal air connection. This is the Carpinteria Summerland Scott S3 SCBA. It's a 45-minute, 5,500 PSI air cylinder. The universal air connection, UAC, also referred to as the UAC, is located down here within 4 inches of the threads of the cylinder per the NFPA standard. It also required the emergency breathing support system, also referred to as a buddy breather. This is intended in the event of a firefighter getting low on air, needing help from their fellow firefighters. They can make the connections. The firefighter filling the other firefighters, providing air to them, should be at least half full. Moving on to the Carpinteria Summerland RIC pack. The RIC pack has a 1-hour, 5,500 PSI air cylinder from Scott, along with a Scott SCBA mask, airline to a manifold. These two connections are the traditional emergency breathing support system. They have got this adapted to also have the universal emergency breathing support system. So this will integrate with the newer upgraded systems, such as the MSA G1s. The gauge on top provides accurate readings, an analog gauge to tell us how much air is still in the cylinder. And the UAC is designed to connect on the SCBA to transfill. So whatever air supply is in here, it will fill this bottle until they're both the same pressure. What we know from the Project Mayday statistics is approximately 21% of Maydays between 2015 and 2021 used a transfill technique. Additional equipment in their pack includes wire cutters. This is the Channel Lock 86 with a gas valve shutoff and spanner wrench. And also they have 8mm cord, 75 feet for providing rescue purposes. Their RIC packs are on each of their engines. Moving on to the Montecito system. They use a 45-minute MSA G1 air pack. This system also has the universal air connection right here by the harness, located within 4 inches of the threads of the cylinder. It also has the change required a universal emergency breathing support system. This will work with any other universal system, but it will not connect to a system that was designed before 2018, such as the one from Santa Barbara City or the Carpinteria Summerland unit, that if it doesn't have that upgraded manifold. For the Carpinteria Summerland, in the event that the firefighter is down and their PASS device is active, once you make contact with that firefighter, the yellow button on the side, if you push that twice, that will silence their alarm. On the MSA G1s, on the regulator, has both an analog. You can push the side buttons once for a digital readout of the air supply still left in their cylinder. And to silence it, you need to simply push the buttons on both sides. The Montecito RIC pack, a 1-hour MSA cylinder, 4,500 PSI, an MSA G1 mask, the universal emergency breathing support system. Again, this integrates with the systems on the other MSA G1s that have the upgraded requirements, but will not integrate to the buddy breathers on the other systems that are older than that, for example, the Santa Barbara City unit. Their universal air connection, also located on a 6-foot hose for transfill. Again, this is universal to all systems in the county. Every SCBA will be able to accommodate that universal air connection. These are located on every engine in Montecito. Additional equipment, wire cutters, and a sewn loop of webbing to use for drag straps and harnesses. Moving on to the Santa Barbara City system. It is also a Scott S3, similar same system to Carpinteria Summerlin's. Also has the universal air connection down here by the harness within 4 inches of the threads on the cylinder. The emergency breathing support system in the pouch here allows connection to other firefighters using the same system. It can integrate with the Carpinteria Summerlin unit, but it will not integrate with the MSA G1s. The RIC pack for Santa Barbara City is a 1-hour Scott SCBA cylinder, Scott mask, directly connected. This can be separated if the problem is replacing the hose and the regulator or replacing the mask. Those can be done independently. It also has the universal air connection for transfill. Additional equipment is wire cutters, pliers, and a drag strap. Santa Barbara City also has 8mm rope, 75 feet, which is similar to what Carpinteria Summerlin has in their pack as well. And moving on to the Santa Barbara County MSA G1, this is the same system as in Montecito. You have the UAC connection down here by the bottom of the harness within 4 inches of the threads of the cylinder. And it also has the universal emergency breathing support system in the pouch. Those connections will marry up with the system from Montecito, but it will not integrate with the system from Santa Barbara City. So it's important to know you can transfill to either system through the UAC, or you'll have to do a complete change out of the mask regulator from the RIC pack from that other agency. So the RIC pack from Santa Barbara County comes with a 1-hour MSA cylinder, MSA mask to the buddy breather, and also the UAC connection. Additional equipment includes a mast harness using for drags or lifts. Comes with 30-minute chem lights, white lights, door straps to keep doors unlatched, wire cutters, channel lock 86s, and trauma shears. The best solution, if you're going into a rescue or firefighters from another agency are working interior, is to bring your own pack. Statistically speaking, we know that firefighters from the RIC team also end up with a mayday or emergency issue while performing a rescue. So you have the equipment for them, but to also locate the RIC pack on the agencies responding to the incident that you're also responding to on a RIC deployment. Montecito Carpentry of Summerlin and Santa Barbara City have a RIC pack on every engine. For Santa Barbara County, it's on Station 15 in Mission Canyon, Station 13 on Hollister, Station 11 in Goleta, and Truck 11 in Goleta. So we need to identify, find that engineer, ask them where their RIC pack is, and you can identify what RIC pack. So you may bring in 2 RIC packs when working in an incident where you have auto aid and mutual aid. What's important to remember between these systems is if you have a mask issue and you bring in a RIC pack from a different agency, you do not have the ability to do any change out of equipment or the hose line. You can do a transfill, but your only solution is to switch your mask of your RIC pack onto the downed firefighter, and your RIC pack becomes the whole new system for that downed firefighter. Remember to train and prepare with your mutual aid partners and practice working with this equipment.